Hey everybody. Had a little technical difficulties with Google this morning, so we are starting a little late, so apologize for that. Thanks for hanging out and getting this going. I'm Mike Turnquist with Seventh Level Real Estate, here to bring you November's market update. So pretty excited about it. Let's go ahead and get started here. All right, there we go. There we go. Okay, awesome. As usual, we're going to cover a couple of pieces here, the news and the updates. So let's get started with the news. And probably the best thing that's to say is the fact that this market is still very strong. We've had a great year so far, and it looks like the fundamentals are sticking solid. So we're going to close out 2016 with a great year and roll it right into the next year. So, all right. As a matter of fact, Jonathan Smoke, we're going to talk about him a little bit today. Chief economist from Realtor.com says overall, the fundamental trends that we've been seeing all year remain solidly in place as we enter this traditional slower sell season. Okay, we call it winter, and pent-up demand remains substantial as buyers seek to get a home under contract while rates remain so low. So here we are. We still have a lot of buyers out there, and there's going to be a lot of buyers coming through here throughout the winter. We just have to get that inventory because, as you see, drum roll, here we go. Mortgage rates are projected to go up. So it looks like they've hit bottom now, and according to all the projections, they're projected to go up over the next 18 months. And if you've been paying attention, even after the election, we had about a half-point increase just this week, and that's kind of a big jump to happen so quickly in all the turmoil of the stocks and the bonds and all that stuff that people freaking out after the election here. So anyway, what we want to do is make sure that if there's a demand out there right now, buyers are looking to buy before the rates start to go up too much. So as a matter of fact, Mark Fleming, he's a PhD and also chief economist for First American. Extremely limited supply is stopping the market from reaching its full potential. Counteracting positive increases in marketing fundamentals such as employment and wages. We all know that the unemployment rate is dropping, and meaning more people have a job. And for the first time in a long time, wages are starting to go up. So we're in a position right now that we really need that listing inventory in order to reach the potential in the market, okay? To reach our potential, and probably most importantly, to help as many families as we possibly can. That is our goal here at Seventh Level Real Estate. Okay, so now the National Association of Realtors, NAR, just came out with a new graph showing exactly what the median seller tenure and how many years does a seller stay in a home since 1985. Okay, this goes back further than the previous graph we gave you last month, but we're going to take this graph, put it in our portfolio because this is a better graph. Okay, we're going to go all the way back to 1985, and from 1985 all the way to 2008. That number averaged 6 years. Okay, a family in America stayed in their home an average of 6 years. But then when the market crashed, things changed, obviously. Okay, unemployment went up, wages didn't increase at all. People were stuck with huge amounts of negative equity. And what we wound up taking place is that people trapped in their houses. So that number was an average of 6, and then it went all the way up for 23 years. All of a sudden, there was 7, then 8 years, then 9 years. It maxed out at 10 years about 2 years ago. And then last year, the last number we had was about 9 years. So there's pent up selling demand right now that we have to go after. Okay, we have to realize that that's part of the reason. The three main reasons were people lost their jobs. Jobs are coming back now. People couldn't afford it. Wages remain tight, and wages are going up now. But let's take a look at the third reason. Some people were trapped in their house from a negative equity standpoint. President and CEO of CoreLogic, we see home prices rising another 5% in the coming year based upon the latest projected national CoreLogic home price index. Assuming the growth is uniform across the United States, that should release an additional 700,000 homeowners from the scourge of negative equity. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, the equity situation for a vast majority of our homeowners is much, much better. Question is, do they know that? So it's my responsibility, here as your trusted advisor to get that information out there through social media, through our blog and our website, emails, and all our mailings. We're trying to get this information into as many hands as possible. Okay, so here's the average equity gain per homeowner from June 2015 to June 2016. Now, it takes some time to actually calculate the numbers. So June 2016 is the latest number available. It just came out. Okay. We can now see that across the country, any blue state was over $4,000. They actually went up net worth equity. Now, that's family worth. They gained that. Okay. And you can see California, it's a lot higher too. All right. Because I don't think that the people understand, I think that they know the market is getting better. I think that they know that unemployment is getting better. I think they know that wages are getting better, but I'm not sure they know that their equity is getting dramatically better. And again, it's part of our job to make sure that we get that information out there because there is pent-up demand in almost everyone. And we're going to cover this next month in the December market update. We're working on it already. Almost everyone is projecting that the first-time home buyers are going to be a major piece of the business next year, and they need houses to buy. So as a matter of fact, going back to my buddy Jonathan Smoke, first-time buyers face more challenges than buyers who have dominated the market for the last 5 years. Okay, these buyers are 3 times more likely than repeat buyers to say that they lack the funds for a down payment. Likewise, they are 2.9 times more likely to be held back because they are subject to the terms of a lease, and they are 2.7 times more likely to say that they need to improve their credit score. So here's a group of buyers coming into the market in a big way. Combine that, we have pent-up seller demand. The houses are coming on the market, and we have to help that. And when these buyers come in, we have to realize we have nothing to do as far as our lease are concerned, and we really can't control that. But they're held back because they don't know that they have funds for a down payment, or they don't know that they have the right credit score. And I think that's some misunderstanding on that. So as far as credit score and down payment are concerned, I want everybody to see, okay? Going back to 1989, let's take a look at the average down payment was for repeat buyers and the average down payment for the first-time home buyer. Okay, and if we're talking about millennials, that first-time home buyer segment, let's take a look at that bottom line. All right, now I realize that during the boom of 04, 05, 06, 07, things got really crazy, and people were able to do things that they probably shouldn't have been able to do. But if we take a look at the overall trend, that dotted line going through, we can see the average down payment for a first-time home buyer has gone down. And then right now it's about 6% on average. I think there are a lot of first-time home buyers that think you have to put 20% down. And that's not even true because we have many programs where oftentimes it's zero out of pocket to get into a home. Okay. So as far as FICO score is concerned, there's report and survey after survey where people think in order to own a home, they need a 750 FICO score. That's a high score, right? Okay. Out of all the closed loans per Ellie Mae, more than 50%, almost 54% of all loans altogether were between 600 and 750 FICO score. They don't need 750 above. Okay. But I don't think people know that. And it's part of the reason I want you guys to understand that while some of the millennials are also homeowners, they don't know that. 12% of all homeowners in this country are under the age of 34, and they're probably looking to make that move up. So here we are trying to get that information out there. And if there's any question about as far as the graph is concerned, let's take a look at what Freddie Mac themselves said. Okay, did you know that the average down payment among first-time home buyers is 6% and is 13 to 14% for repeat buyers? It's possible to put down even less. Many potential home buyers think that only the FHA help make mortgage loans with low down payments, and that is not true. Freddie Mac's Home Possible mortgage products like qualified home buyers put down as little as 3%. Okay, and there's USDA where it's 0%. There's VA buyers, our heroes that can qualify for a VA loan can put 0% down, and we can also reward them at the close of escrow to kind of help out as well. So definitely check our website out for our Homes for Heroes program. Okay. In a case that there's any question that as far as the graph, okay, so sorry, wrong slide there. Because as Lawrence Yun said, there's hope the leap in sales to first-time homebuyers can stick through the rest of this year and into next spring. The market fundamentals, primarily consistent job gains and affordable mortgage rates, are there for the steady rise in first-timers needed to finally reverse the decline in the home ownership rate. Okay, so a lot of these people stayed in their parents' home, or when they moved out, they weren't really ready to go ahead and purchase a home. So everybody's projecting. Zillow's projecting. Urban Land Institute is projecting. NAR, again, is projecting. Realtor.com is projecting that this year is going to be the year of the first-time home buyer. We have to prepare in two different ways. We have to make sure that we have the listing inventory available for them to buy, and we have to make sure that you guys know that we know how to help the first-time home buyer. Okay? So as far as a home ownership rate is concerned, let's not get crazy with it. What we have here is a decade by decade going all the way back to 1900, 1910, 20, 30s, 40s. And you can see is we're a little bit off the last couple of decades. Okay, there's no question about that. We had a housing crash. We're not that far off than what we're going back to historical lows that some people are talking about. Okay, so what we need to know right now, all right, is we pretty much hit the bottom on that home ownership rate, and we can turn it around. We also should break down as far as where we live. So next month, I'm going to have a year-end local outlook on a lot of these statistics as well. So please check us out next month. It's going to be fantastic. So here's a home ownership rate in 2015 by state. And you can see that all the blue states are states where there are above 63%. So the vast majority of the country is well above 63% home ownership. Okay, here on the West Coast and some of the more populated states on the East Coast, we still fall below that national average. But overall, the vast majority of the country is above 63. And the more of those first-time home buyers we get into a house, the more of these families we can help, the higher the home ownership rate will go, obviously. Okay, I understand that we have average pricing, higher than average pricing in California, especially local here in SLO County. But with the rent so high, it still makes a lot of sense for people to buy. Okay, and remember, we're coming into a wave. We've been trying to prepare you this for the last couple of months, and we're going to continue to prepare you for this as we move forward, because the movement of the first-time homebuyers, and Jonathan Smokes said, and I love this, this represents a shift moment in housing. With so many first-time homebuyers in the market, competition will be fiercer next year for affordable starter homes in the suburbs. Okay. Those looking to buy may want to consider a winter home purchase to avoid bidding wars and higher prices spurred by potential increase in millennial buyers. So what is he saying? What does that mean? The same thing we said up front. There's pent up seller demand, and they want to beat the interest rates, and they want to beat the flood of buyers coming into the market next year. We have to be prepared in two ways. Again, number one is we have to continue to hopefully put new homes on the market all the way through the end of the year. And we also need to prepare the best way we can deal with the millennial buyer and what they need from us. And even in new home construction, we have to let them know that that's also a viable opportunity for them. Brenda Garcia Lemus from John Burns Real Estate Consulting. Our home builder clients sell hundreds of homes every weekend to buyers with 5% down payments and below average credit scores. So let's go over that again. Our home builder clients sell hundreds of homes every weekend with 5% down payments and below average credit scores. Yes, they can even get new construction, right? Yet many middle-income households, say with average credit scores and access to 5% down payments, assume they can not become homeowners because of the type of the credit headlines that we're reading. Again, what are they all about? All right. We are about competing against those headlines. And people believe they can't afford to buy a new construction home because they don't have the right credit score or the right down payment. So here we are educating, trying to help as many families be more comfortable when they're making that decision to buy or sell their home. So if we take a look at the percentage of all home sales that were new construction, we can see that the number is way down compared to not only the boom times, but all the way back down to 1981. That's because part of the challenge is they're not building enough homes. But another piece of that challenge is the buyers don't realize, especially the first-time home buyers, don't realize that that's an alternative for them. And it's great news. And we're really here to say that there's going to be that boom in the market, hopefully the boom in the listings, hopefully the boom of the buyers, and there's going to be a tremendous year. 2017 should turn out to be a tremendous year in real estate. Okay, so here's a graph actually from NAR. That blue line is the percentage of buyers who use the internet for home search, and that has skyrocketed since 2001, from just over 40% to 90%, and that goes without saying. I mean, that's pretty obvious. So look at the red line. Many people projected that, like travel agents, that once they started using the internet, there would be no longer a need for real estate professionals, okay, for us, okay? But in reality, when you look at that red line, it's been a steady increase from the time people are coming to us to help them with their purchase. And what I want you to understand is those millennials, those people that we're talking about are going to drive this market in the next year. They're looking to us for some help, okay? So let's see what the Consumer Housing Trends reports say about them. While older generations rely on real estate agents for information and expertise, millennials expect real estate agents to become trusted advisors and strategic partners. And that's what we're doing. All right. Isn't that what we've always talked about? We want you to be so well informed that whether you're buying or selling, whether you're a buyer or a seller, we want you to be so well informed that you can trust us with either purchasing that largest investment or selling the largest investment that your family has ever had. Now, that's what we're talking about. We want to become your strategic partner, not just be that salesperson out to make a commission, but a partner in your family, okay? That's big in a big way, and it makes us feel pretty good that we're here for you. Okay, so let's go over some updates, and you can see that we can use this to help us all the way through, because we've got a lot of historical information, and we want to update you on information obviously every month. You can pick and choose what you think is most important from you, and pick and choose things that you think that you're going to like and you're going to use. Okay, so we're here to help sort through it all. All right, let's go to sales first. Average days on market. We're going to go through these slides relatively quickly here. All right, we're going to give you average days on the market by state. You can see that it's still very, very low here in California. Properly valued homes do not take that long to sell. Okay, existing home sales going all the way back to 2012. We can also give it to you since 2014 there. All right. We give you existing home prices year over year, each and every month, all right? And what you see, the prices are continuing to increase. That's why many people are calling for buyers that want to buy this winter instead of waiting around till next spring. We're going to talk about that later as well. And we should let any one of our homeowners or anyone in our potential listings that are thinking of moving up, we have to give them the same information, right? Waiting until next spring may make it easier to sell an existing home, but it also may make it more difficult for them to buy their next home. Existing home sales in the thousands. You can see the later part of the year, we are above last year, 1.6%. New home sales in the thousands. Same thing here, okay? Okay, new home sales annualized going all the way back to June 2014. Okay, new homes are selling fast. We give you the median months from completion to sold, and we can see that the number has fallen pretty dramatically again, which is good news in a certain way, because that means people are really looking to buy them. But we have to hope that they keep on building. Keep building new homes. Okay. Total home sales, again, outpacing last year. So you can see that number year over year for each month has been greater. All right. Pending home sales, which is bouncing around the same type of numbers that we had last year. We had a spike up last month, but we have to take a look at that. Remember, part of the reason that pending home sales aren't higher and existing home sales aren't higher is we have a lack of inventory. Talked about it in our blog the last few weeks. If we had more houses to sell, the dark blue line would be dark blue above the medium blue line all the way across the graph there. Pending home sales since 2012 here, higher than average. Pending home sales since 2014, above that historically healthy level. And pending home sales year over year by region, and you can see in the West up 4% here. Okay, all right. Percent of distressed property sales. Now this is falling off the map, ladies and gentlemen here. Understanding that's part of the challenge that we have in the inventory is that we don't have as many distressed sales in the vast majority of our markets any longer. We went from 35%, more than, let's say, 1 out of every 3 sales was a distressed property back in January 2012 to 4%. Okay, now that's 1 out of 3. Now it's 1 out of 25. So they're just not a relevant piece of the market here. All right, let's take a look at home prices. Existing home prices in our county, it's closer to 11% year over year. So it's a little higher on average. We're in a more expensive, greater appreciating county than most of the West here. Okay, percent change in sales. You can see that the low end is just kind of slowly dropping down, and because as prices take a higher look. Okay, all right. The Case-Shiller report going all the way back there, year over year price changes and year over year differences here. Okay. The forecasted year over year percent price change by CoreLogic. This is the one that we give you every month. Okay, and you can see California is way on the upper end there. It looks like it's in the top state, at 9%. And as I said before, we're pretty close to 11% here in SLO County. Okay, this is a fun one. Appraisal home value estimates. What's the difference between what a homeowner believes the house is worth and what an appraiser is actually appraising it for? And we run into these issues during a transaction because the appraisers aren't coming in, and that's what happens when you see a fast appreciating market. All right, housing inventory. Okay, seller traffic. Okay, seller traffic is still really weak in the vast majority of the country, but it's getting better, and that's good news. Okay, months of inventory for houses still for sale, still way too low. Okay, we'd love to see these numbers get back up to 6 and see that market's true potential there. Months of inventory for homes for sale over the last 2 years. Bringing it down over the last 12 months, you can look at it in a little bit closer, and we can see we're nowhere near. Well, I mean, we haven't been at 6 months for years now, so we're not even close. Okay, and as the lower the price range goes, the lower and lower inventory you can see. So it's really a tale of which price segment of the market you're in. Okay, year over year inventory levels, you can see it is dropping. It is dropping. And that's what's driving this market here. Housing supply compared to year over year, again, we're down about 6.8% this month. New home inventory, and again, we're down where we were last year, and that's withholding that inventory. So new home inventory supply the last month is kind of still dropping. So let's take a look at buyer demand. Buyer traffic has been strong for almost the entire country. Unless you live in one of these gray states here, you're doing absolutely phenomenal. And we are. And then again, in the vast majority of the country. And here's the people up in the Northwest. Look at that, Pacific Northwest. You better list, if we got buyers who want to live out there, right? People are moving up north. Anyone want to move to Seattle? So foot traffic, give it to you since July of 2013. And we break it down to the last 12 months. And we can compare it to 2015, 2016. All right. So going into interest rates, I know that's a topic that everyone is curious about. Well, again, looks like we might have hit bottom, and I know we've said that before, but it looks like that's coming to fruition here, and at least for the four major entities are projecting. Okay, so you got Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, Mortgage Bankers Association, and the National Association of Realtors. Okay, so they all projecting these rates are going to go up over the next few quarters. All right, let's just take a look at what Freddie Mac is saying. There's going to be a substantial increase over the next 12 months. We want to make sure that people understand that so they can make informed decisions. And I think they're kind of catching on already. All right. Mortgage credit availability is really good. Okay. It's getting better every single month. The higher the graph, the better it is. But again, we're going to give you this graph to let people know that we're not, that are making the argument that we're back to 2006 and we're heading into dangerous waters. Okay, no, it's not true. Here's a graph going back all the way to June 2004. Again, the higher the graph, the easier it was to get a mortgage. And that line represents all the way to the right where it's getting higher. Okay, so there's no question about it. We're nowhere near the stated income fog of mirror loans that we saw in 04, 05, and 06. Okay, average days of closing alone. All right, everybody's worked past that TRID situation, okay, and it did tick up a little last month, and we're going to kind of look at that and see what happens to this trend. Okay, FICO scores, ladies and gentlemen. Here we showed you this graph earlier, but please understand that 53.9% actually include all the way back to 500. That's 54% of the loans closed less than a 750 FICO. And people believe that they actually need these tremendous FICO scores in order to get a mortgage. It's just not true. So the average FICO scores closed for all loans, 731, conventional, 754. FHA is a lot more lenient, 686, and the VA, 708. Okay, let's take a look at that and let's see what's taking place here. And we take an active part in being involved with helping you understand the mortgage process. Okay, average back-end debt, again from Ellie Mae for closed loans of that type. You can see it's average about 37. Your debt equals about 37% of your total income there. And some lenders can get that pushed up to 44, but then you're running into the top end of affordability there. Okay. All right. So as always, we want to give you the resource section. We want you to be an expert. So if anybody is questioning anything that you're saying, go right here. We'll find the original survey, the original white paper, the original study where we pull all these statistics for. Okay. And that's powerful for you. So we're happy to send these links out to you. If you want to verify the info for yourself, let us know. We don't want anybody to think that, hey, we're making all this up. All right, let's take a walk through some of the discovery process for a client, okay? So here's what's happening in the country, the national housing market, and then there's what's happening regionally. Then we take a look at how the states differ. We give you many maps on how the states differ, and then we can bring it right down to your neighborhood here, okay? By doing what we believe very strongly, by using charts and graphs and all this information, we can visually demonstrate that market information. We usually break it down by discussing the overall housing market, which we have, and then it breaks down to a more specific local area. All right. Then we might even talk about types of buyers that might be interested in a particular type of home. Then for the sellers that maybe they want too much money for the house, we can use the information to get a more projected appreciation to let them know that, hey, if you want much more than the market is selling for, this is how long you might have to wait. Okay, so let's go through that for a second. First of all, we go over the larger market. We might take quarter-over-quarter % change in price, and that's what we give you. And then we give you this. We have this graph for everyone every quarter. Then we might go on a forecasted year-over-year % change in price from CoreLogic, which we give you every single month as well. We make sure you understand that not only what's happening in the national market, but what's happening on the state levels and obviously the local areas. Okay. Again, what do they want? even the non-millennials want someone that they can trust, right? Someone they can go ahead and give the largest asset their family probably owns, okay? Put them in charge and know that it's properly taken care of, all right? We want to be that for you. Now, we often take a look at what type of buyer is going to buy the house. We might take a look at that. So if you're in a home that you know is a first-time home buyer home, we might pull this graph out and say, hey, listen, this is a first-time home buyer home, just like it was a first-time home buyer home for you, and it's probably going to be the first home for the next person purchasing it, right? So I want you to understand that there's somewhere around 61%, the 56 plus the 5, 61% that a millennial chance that a millennial is going to buy that house. So let's stage it that way. Well, if a millennial is going to buy the house, then we have to understand that they might use FHA financing. Are you okay with that? We will actually break down when we sit with people, this is the type of buyer that is going to buy this house. Let's get the house ready and let's actually promote the house and market the house to the type of buyer, especially since there's going to be over a 60% chance that that's the type of buyer that we're going to buy it. All right. Now, in some cases, the seller could be 45, 54 years old, and they might think, well, shag carpet isn't so bad. Well, a millennial's going to come in and see shag carpet, and they're going to think it's really cool retro, or they're going to be like, blah, don't want that. All right. So let's going to help you through that process by helping you understand who might be purchasing your home. Then again, we said that right from the beginning. We want you to know where prices are going. Okay. We want to help you feel that so that what we go and what we give you every quarter, a home price expectation survey, and says, hey, listen, this is where home prices are going. If you want 10% more than the market is ready to bear, you're going to have to wait about 3 years because prices are only projected to go up 3% a year going forward, et cetera. Okay, so you see how we can guide you through that process and help you understand the value of your home. Does that make sense? Okay, so here's another graph from the home price expectation survey. If you want 10% more, according to the most negative people in the survey, you're going to have to wait till about 2020, okay? And you're going to have to wait a couple more years from the projections from which we gave you. Okay, so that's a little bit how we help guide people, guide new clients through that process personally, all right? So I want to make this offer. We still have the free 2016 fall buyer and seller guides. Goes into a lot of in-depth information on these here. I'm going to put these up here. We're going to go, here is the home seller's guide offer. Feel free to click on that link and download that there. You're going to find this just is a fantastic piece that we put together for you guys. Really going in depth on a lot of these numbers that we're talking about every month. And also put the links for everybody in the replay there. So there is the home buyer guide. So feel free to click the download button, check that out. If you are watching this on YouTube, scroll down the description. We'll have the links in there as well. All right. So that said, thank you for taking the time to join us today. Let me know if you want to schedule a personal consultation to go over your personal real estate goals, your needs, where we can help guide you guys, whether you want to plan out the next 5 years or you're ready to go right now and are just seriously interested in what we can do. So as always, let me know if anybody you know is looking to make a move. We are never too busy for your referrals. So thank you very much and have a fantastic day.